What if I told you that a small coin could hold a big story? Today, we're diving into the world of challenge coins and the incredible stories they tell.
What's in your pocket? What could it be? Challenge coins with tales of bravery. From soldier stories to the firefighter's flame. Each coin's a memory, not just a game. What's in your pocket? Let's take a peek. Uncover history's unique and sleek. Police badges, military might. Coins that shine in the day and night. What's in your pocket? Join the fun. Discover a new story in every one. So listen in, don't miss the show, for challenge coins and the stories they hold.
My guest today is Alex Monson, and he's going to be talking about two different coins. One is a POW MIA Mortuary Affairs coin, and the other is the New Jersey State Police Auto Theft Task Force. Alex, welcome to my first real episode.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me, Keith.
Sure. Why don't you tell everybody about your background?
So I started out in the Army in 2005. I joined the infantry for many years. I was stationed all over the world. I was stationed all over the world. I've been in Korea, Hawaii, Japan, Indonesia, Australia. I've been all over the Pacific, and then my last final year was in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I was an instructor out over there. And then unfortunately in 2016, I got kidney failure and got medically discharged.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's all right. It turned into a huge win for me. Finally got out, and then moved over to the government side of things. Started working for the Missile Defense Agency. Been doing that for a long time now. I'm actually the liaison to Guam for our department. So it's really cool. So back over in the Pacific here and there.
Nice.
But then I got an opportunity to join our local police department here in Alabama, northern Alabama. I've been doing that as a reserve police officer for about a year now.
Okay.
Currently in the academy, trying to get certified. So it's a big, long year process every other weekend. So it's a huge commitment. It's pretty cool. But other than that, I actually went to my first out of the academy training a couple weeks ago, and that's where I received my first police coin, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
And I'd love to share about that.
Awesome. Then, hold it. Let's not show anybody quite yet. I want to go back to when you joined the military. All right. Can you remember the very first coin that you received?
So the very first coin that I ever received, yeah, actually I can. So I was doing my basic leadership training kind of things, BLC. I actually became the, what do you call it? It's called the Distinguished Honor Graduate. So I was number one in the class. I was in Korea at the time, and I got this giant, fist-sized coin. It was from the 2nd Infantry Division Command Sergeant Major. He's like, "Hey, congratulations!" And he threw this coin in my hand. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this giant thing in my hand?" I didn't know coins were a thing at this point in time. I've only seen a couple, but I got this giant coin. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing's got some weight to it." I didn't care what he was saying after that. He was congratulating me, telling me whatever. I blocked it out. I was trying to focus on what was in my hand, the feel of it, the texture, the indentations. It was awesome, just to be honest with you. But yeah, as soon as the ceremony was over, I checked it out. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is awesome." So it's got an axe. It's cool.
I got my first challenge coin in 1990, right around 1990, when I joined the 193rd Special Operations Wing, and kind of given instructions when I got it: make sure you have your coin on you at all times. And it started out as a huge drinking game in the military, and to be politically correct, it doesn't have to be an alcoholic drink. But
nope.
You're familiar with the challenge. You want to tell people how the coin challenge goes?
So basically, if you're out in an event and somebody says, "Hey, Nick, the best coin or the worst coin buys the next round. And so everybody pulls out their coins, whatever they got on them, and they slap it down, and you tell your story, and then whoever has the weakest coin buys the next round. And
Very
that's
nice
the challenge.
That's the first time I've heard it from the weakest coin. I like that.
Yeah.
I've also heard people say, when everybody pulls their coin out, whoever has the highest ranking coin,
Yep.
and the lowest ranking coin. Other people just, depending on what their coins are, because there's so many different uses. There's, like you said, coins that Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major handed you that?
Yep.
Yeah, that they give out as
Yeah.
tokens of appreciation to show their appreciation for whatever it was you were doing at the time. And then there's also coins that units or organizations have made that are unit coins, right? And then everybody chips in money, buys them, maybe collectively pulls in the money to have a custom coin minted. But the really cool part about them is that they're unique to those people, and every single coin holds a story. So I'm sorry, what was the very first one? The Command Sergeant Major was the very first one.
Yeah, so when I graduated the leadership training, he handed me a coin. I got several others after that, but they weren't as cool as his. It was So
probably too big to carry in your pocket, though, right?
Yes, it is huge, and so it's like that one sits on the shelf on display. But I have coins from the Secretary of Defense. I have coins from the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, Secretary of the Armies. Like I have tons of high-ranking coins, but none of them are cool.
What years were you in?
So I was in from 2005 to 2016.
Were you in Iraq at all, in the desert?
So I didn't get officially deployed over there.
Okay.
I did little things here and there, but no.
Have you ever seen this coin?
Well, I have seen that coin.
This is the coin that was the biggest order that I've ever minted and designed.
Right.
We did 350,000 of this coin for Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, wow.
And I was doing I drink Coca-Cola. Like, that's all I drink. I drink a Coke over a beer any day, And I actually went to Coca-Cola in early 2000 and pitched an idea. And I just basically said, hey, you know what? After Vietnam, veterans have a really bad taste in their mouth with the way that they were treated, So how about if we make a coin for veterans that are deployed right now, and all it has to have is a Coke logo on one side and basically say, we support you. That's all. Yep. Coke passed on it. About 2 weeks later, I get a call out of the blue from Anheuser-Busch InBev from a gentleman named Ed Wagner. And he said, hey, we were thinking about doing a coin for the troops. I was wondering if you could design a coin for us. And I said, oh, my God. I said, I literally just pitched an idea to Coca-Cola 2 weeks ago, and they passed. Do you want to hear it? He says, absolutely. So I told him the idea. He's like, I love it. Let's do it. And I'm like, sweet. How many do you want to do? He's like, I don't know. How many people are deployed right now? Well, I was still in the Guard at that point. And I made some calls down to Shaw Air Force Base and had a contact down there. They pulled all the crunched numbers for me and came back with a report that says there's currently 350,000 people deployed.
Yeah. So
called Anheuser-Busch back, said 350,000. They're like, great, let's do 350,000. And I was like, sweet. Once in a lifetime order so far. I've never had an order that big. I'd love one of those each year, but but it was a huge task. They shipped all the coins in cargo carriers to Qatar, depending what time frame.
Yep.
And the Air Force took charge of all of them. And then there was the processing point where people were processing out to come back to the States, and people were in processing in country. We're all going through one location. So if you were on your way out when they were there, you got one. And if you were on your way in there, you got one until they were depleted. Now, I've had people that I've talked to that said I was over there and never got one. And I've had other people that said I was on 6 deployments over there within a 2-year time span and got 3 of them, So I had no control over any of that. I just designed the coin.
Oh, wow.
So tell me about another exciting coin.
So another exciting coin I got is the coin that I'd actually like to share about. It's my my POW-MIA coin.
Okay.
So when I was in Korea, I was in Korea from 2008 to 2012. During that time, Kim Jong-un succeeded his father, Kim Jong-il.
Mhm.
They also bombed the little islands off the Korean Peninsula. So it was a very hectic time at the time. There was a lot of turmoil, a lot of change going on in the regime.
Mhm.
From my understanding, is what likes to happen is during this time, a lot of the higher ups want to move higher up in the food chain, shall I say?
Sure. Yeah.
And so they'll have their minions do some deeds to the higher ups, and then everybody will start moving up. And so during monsoon season, we get a lot of North Korean bodies floating down the river and into South Korea.
Mysteriously.
And so, yeah, mysteriously, knife wounds and whatnot. But one of the greatest things that I got to be a part in is returning a North Korean, well, twice, I did this twice, returning a North Korean body back to North Korea
Wow.
at the demilitarized zone. And it was probably one of the most memorable moments I've had in the military. So it was
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
And you're gonna share that coin with us today?
Yeah, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna show it to you. But
Okay.
I'd like to tell about the story first.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a summer day. It was really, really hot. We had gotten word like, hey, we got to go to the DMZ. We got this body we got to bring back. And we're like, okay, cool. This is awesome. And so we arrive. I don't know if you've ever seen the DMZ or like the whole like compound that they have. There's kind of two separate areas to it. So you have like your front entrance, which is like your tourist area. That's where a lot of people get in process. They show you a little movie and stuff like that. They tell you about the Korean War and how the demilitarized zone was established. So we got there. We're like, all right, cool. We'll meet the hearse. We'll meet the parties. And they're like, hey, we'll go up to this other staging area where the three briefing rooms are that straddle the North and South Korean line. And then they'll have their peace talks and whatever else they got going on in there. But basically, so we got to the pre-staging area, got in our uniforms, did our whole honor guard thing, and then we marched up to the actual meeting area, and it was three Americans, so myself and two other U.S. soldiers, two Thai soldiers, and then two South Korean soldiers. So that was the first one, and then the second one was two Korean soldiers, a Thai and a Canadian, and then three Americans as well. But the Americans were up in front towards the line again also, but during the one that I have a picture of, the Koreans were up towards the front.
You have a photo to go with it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think I shared it with you, so if you'd
Okay.
like to share that. But basically we got up to the line. The two bodies were staged right here on the line between the, how do I call this? The observance area. There's a lot of cameras, a lot of glass facing outwards. Basically, you can't see into the building, but you can see out. You can see North Korea and everything else like that. So we were waiting there. There was a ton of delegates from the United Nations. They were on our sides, and the ceremony was really cool because, like, at the start of it, you had the two North Korean bodies there, and then the delegates marched out along the two sides of the buildings where we were going to pass this body back towards the North Koreans. And so they marched, they turned, they faced, and it was just really cool to see, like, the UN armbands, like, just the different people like coming to show respect for this process, this ceremony. And so we marched down to the first body to give back, and we pick it up, and this guy, he was very waterlogged, obviously spending time in the river, so it was quite heavy, but it's sad to say, the way you see and depict North Koreans, they're very skinny. They're very like hungry, I guess you could say. But just going from that to picking up this casket, and it was like, wow, this is crazy. So there we are. We're marching it down the line, And then on the South Korean side, there's pea gravel. So just in case if somebody does walk over to the North Korean side, you can hear them crunching towards the south. And so trying to get our footing carrying this casket was very, very crazy. And then, we get up towards the line and we're like holding this.
How many pallbearers did you have?
So we had 6 pallbearers.
Okay.
We were probably not in the best shape to be doing this, just holding this. Because again, you have 2 Thai soldiers, 2 Koreans, and then 2 Americans, and like this guy was heavy, and so we're sitting there just holding this, and we're shaking, and then here comes the North Koreans just walking down, and they're like peeking around the corner, taking pictures, just taking their time. I was like, come on, bro, this sucks. And so we're just sitting there going, and it's just like, all right. And so finally their pallbearers come into the line, and they're like feet off of the line. Like they didn't want to come close to it. They didn't want to do anything. And we're staying on the South Korean side, and we're like, are y'all going to come get this? Or do we have to go to North Korea to give it to you? And so like, I was like, hey, step. And they're like, no. I was like, step. They're like, no. I'm like, take a step. So the Koreans took the step onto the line, and people are just taking pictures. You just hear, and it was super crazy, but it was super fun. Finally, the North Koreans took their steps back got the body. And then we went back, and then the Americans were on the front line now too. And same thing happens. It's like, all right, guys, we need to take a couple steps. They're like, nope. I was like, step. And then here we go. I stepped on the line. We're in North Korea, handed the bodies back. And it was super cool because, like, as soon as we came back into the building, the ceremony was over. You had the delegates from the UN. We got a couple of United Nations coins, which was really cool. I didn't expect the United Nations to have challenge coins. I was like, you guys are supposed to be neutral parties. Come on. But I got several of those from the Canadians. Who else did I get? I got Canadians, Sweden, and the United Nations Military Armistice Commission, UNCMAC. So I got a couple of coins from them. And then at the end of it, we all went back out to the parking lot, taking off all of our stuff because it was super hot. And then the United States Forces Korea mortuary affairs guy came up to us, and he's like, hey, I've never had like people actually step over the line or step onto the line during the ceremony, and you guys are brave. I appreciate you guys, and I just want to give you guys this. And he slaps me with this awesome coin, and so I'll share it right here. And so it is.
Oh, that is awesome.
Our POW MIA coin, and I'm going to show the other side. And so it kind of symbolizes.
That's a cool coin.
It symbolizes the flag. So when you do a funeral, you get the flag in the triangle, right? And so I've done several other funerals, and in 2005 I did a funeral for a colonel who was a very personal friend of my family's and stuff. And I remember folding this flag for him, and oh man, getting teary for it. But it just brings back a lot of like memories and a lot of like significance from him, and then like all the soldiers that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. And so like this coin, just like it means a lot to me. Just because of the ultimate sacrifice that people have paid for our country, and I'll always cherish this one.
That is an awesome coin, and I love what you said too. The coin, that's what I want people to understand that are new to challenge coins, is that every single challenge coin has a story behind it and what it means. And for you carry that coin in your pocket, and it has significant meaning to you. And they're like, I say they're like time capsules, You could have a display full of coins, and because you've collected them over your lifetime, you can pick up any one and you're going to instantly recall those images, good or bad. If it was a conflict situation and you lost brothers and sisters in it, you're still going to have that emotional connection to the coin. And it's still something that you were part of, that not Joe down the street was part of, or Sally at this shop, or Joe at that like it's something that a very unique specially trained group of people was able to do. And that's really where the value of a challenge coin comes from. It's not the type of coin that you pay money for and you're going to throw it in a drawer and hope that it goes up in value in 20 years, right? That's not what challenge coins are about. Challenge coins are about, and from a sad standpoint, like when you die, if you have kids and they don't know what to do with them and they just want to get, like, they don't have that connection that you had with them or understand what you went through to get them, to earn them, what you were going through emotionally in your life at certain points when you got them. So there's just so much respect and unique stories behind them, and that's really what we're trying to do on What's in Your Pocket, is talk to different people about their challenge coins. Now you have a second one that you carry also.
I do.
Let's talk about that one.
So I got this one. So again, like I say, I'm a reserve police officer, and I was able to go to my first actual outside training from the academy.
I thought you were going to say, like, I could do my first traffic stop.
I wish. Actually, I do have.
Can't wait to pull people over.
It's not a coin per se, but it is a ATF little mini badge. We actually pulled over an ATF agent a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "I don't have a coin for you guys because you guys are pretty awesome, but here's this little mini pin." I was like, "Thanks, professional courtesy. Thank you."
I have a huge ATF one that I do. It's an antique silver. Again, I'm looking. There's so many coins laying on my desk.
Yeah.
But it's a huge, has a big bulldog in the front of it with barbed wire around it. It's all in high relief 3D. Nice. But yeah, tell me about yours.
So I went to this training. So as a reserve officer, we don't get paid, right? We're all volunteers. And so we literally have 10 police officers full-time and part-time in our station. And so funding's kind of either you pay your way or you try and fundraise as much as you can. So this past summer, I did a 5K fundraiser, raised about $5,000 for myself to go to the academy, and then some miscellaneous things for our department. And so this training came about. It's from Street Cop Training. It's a huge online kind of thing, and they do conferences throughout the year. And so they just happened to be in the area, and I wanted to learn about auto theft and how to detect it, how to prevent it, just kind of ins and outs. And so I asked our department, I was like, "Hey, can I go to this training?" They're like, "Hey, we don't know. We'll look in the budget." Literally hours later, like, "Hey, congratulations, you can go. We found some money somewhere. Like, let's go. You can do this." And I was like, "Oh man, this is awesome. My first training, my whatever." And so I went to the training. It was presented by Corey Rodriguez. He's phenomenal in the auto task force world. He does all sorts of things with the insurance agencies and stuff like that. But as I was sitting in my training, asking questions, doing this, doing that. And, I was sitting there just like, because I'm really interested in this, and I'm not trying to talk bad about the other officers in the room, but, they were just kind of laid back, like, "Oh yeah, we know this stuff. We need to look for the VIN here. We need to look for the VIN there, blah, 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 blah." And so I'm just like observing all this. I'm absorbing all the information, and I'm just like answering questions. And Corey comes up to me after the end. He's like, "Hey, I really appreciate like you being a participant in this class. Usually we get officers who are very seasoned and not very attentive to the class, and it's just like
trying to check off a box. Yeah, I did the training.
Check the box." They said, "Chief said be here. I'm here. All right, cool." And so he's like, "I really appreciate you being here." And he slaps me with this coin. And it's his personal coin from his department, and it is the New Jersey State Police Auto Task Force.
Oh, I like that.
And then on the other side is the New Jersey State Police badge. And so it's pretty cool.
I like the unique shape, how it's cut out like around each letter around it, rather than just being smooth. That's different.
Yeah, and then on the back of it, so it's a wheel actually. So if you can kind of see that.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you can see the spokes and stuff. And so
like a transparent black paint.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. It looks like a wheel. We're talking about auto theft and stuff like that." And so this is a really cool coin to me. And it honestly was my first training, my first whatever. And so it's the first coin I got as an officer. And so it cherishes, like, people are like, "Hey, what are you trying to do now?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to get into police work, trying to do this." And they're like, "You got anything?" I was like, "This is the only coin I have." And so I've been trying to get a couple here and there, but I really cherish this one. It's really great. It's the start of another career for me, And
Yep.
so, yeah, it's pretty great.
Another thing I think is great with coins too, like, so you're saying, now we transitioned away from a military style challenge coin. Now you're collecting police style and in a whole new group of people that you're hanging with, for lack of better terms.
Yeah.
And again, it's shared experiences that you guys have that makes those coins valuable or important, or the meaning. And that's the feeling that I'm trying to bring to nonprofits and charities. So in 2013, I was working on a patent for a high-tech magic trick. The magic trick is actually called smartphone card trick. But you select a card, you shuffle it back into the deck, and then you take I'd tell you to take your smartphone. You would touch your smartphone to this coin, and whatever card you selected would appear on your phone. That's where the idea came from, right? But I was able, in the process of doing that, to find a way that if I took let me make sure you can see that. Like, if I took the same coin and I programmed it for a charity,
nice,
I can get it to load the donation page. So imagine a scenario. Say I work in an office building with 100 people, right?
Yeah.
I could walk around to each of them one at a time every day. For 100 days, I go to talk to a different person. And I tell them how passionate I am about Children's Miracle Network and ask for the support. And every single one of them to my face would say,
I ain't got no money.
no, I had people like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. Right?
Yeah.
But you'd be lucky if 2 or 3 people actually follow through and made a donation. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Right, so now imagine the charity has a new program that they're doing, and they come out and they openly say to all their supporters, they say, look, if you want to make a $25, $50, or $75 donation like you've been doing, that's awesome. We appreciate it. Here's what it goes to, spell out everything.
Yeah.
But if you really want to become a brand ambassador for us, if you want to be the kind of person that likes spreading our fundraising message, if you make a $100 donation, we're not going to only send you this beautiful custom minted coin that's designed for your charity, but it's a tool that's going to enable you to become an extension of our fundraiser. And before you even buy it, say, Alex, you're looking at your screen, you're thinking about making a donation, and you see the coin. It says, become a brand ambassador. But you click on that. What's that? It tells you up front, openly and transparent, look, if you'd like to become a brand ambassador, we're going to ask 3 things of you. All right. And we want to ask you these things before you buy it, so you kind of understand the philosophy of what we're doing. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, today, all over the world, there are men and women in our U.S. military, law enforcement officers, firefighters, people in groups and organizations that all carry custom coins in their pocket because they're affiliated with that organization. They're tied to that organization. They care about that organization. If that's you and you want to be a brand ambassador for us, we're going to ask 3 things. Ask number 1 is that you carry our coin in your pocket every day. And then go through the story that, it's not a coin that you're going to buy and throw in a drawer and hope that it goes up in value. It's something that's meant to be carried. It's a true 100% authentic military style challenge coin, just like I make for 95% of my customers, but it's designed for the charity, right?
Yep.
What that's going to do is help keep the charity top of mind from a marketing standpoint, right? If you're picking that coin up and putting it in your pocket every day, maybe while you're on the phone at work, you're playing with the coin in your hand, or you're thinking about it. It's the charity's top of mind. Ask number 2 of the charity is, in your day-to-day life, if you have an opportunity to talk to somebody about Children's Miracle Network, pull that coin out of your pocket and put it in somebody's hands. In sales, there is a close called the puppy dog close. And it's called the puppy dog close because how do you sell a dog? Well, people go to a pet store, they pick out the dog they want, they put them in this tiny little room, and then somebody runs off and gets a dog, and they bring the dog back, and what do? They drop the dog in your lap, and everybody in your family goes, oh, that's a pretty puppy. Oh, I love this puppy. Oh, we got to take him out. Like, the puppy sells itself.
Oh yeah.
Challenge coins are the same thing. I don't care what the challenge coin is. Now, I would argue quality, but I'm going down a path here of mine compared competitors. But the quality of the coin is important, right?
Oh yeah.
Symbolically, the weight of that coin represents the weight of the charity that I help carry, right? So ask number one is that you carry it every day. Ask number two is that you look for opportunities to put the coin in people's hands, and no talking points. You don't have to memorize anything. Just talk from your own heart. Tell them why you like Children's Miracle Network, right? Talk from your perspective. When they're ready to hand the coin back, you say, I haven't even showed you the coolest part yet. Do you like magic tricks? Boom. Say, open up your smartphone. Well, I have two different endings to this that I came up with. I'll show the second one in a second. So the idea, ask number three, one, carry it in your pocket every day. Two, look for opportunities to talk to people in your day-to-day life. Three, find a minimum of one person to make the next donation, enabling the charity to create a perpetual donation machine that bridges the gap from the last donation, which is the one that you made to get the coin, to the next, which is the one person that's going to say, okay, I'll make that donation, right? So same scenario with 100 people, but now I'm equipped with a smart coin in my pocket, right? Now I go around to each of the 100 people. I don't just talk to them about Children's Miracle Network. I pull out a Children's Miracle Network coin that's custom designed for them, that is a tangible piece of the fundraising effort, and I put it in their hands. And while they're holding the coin, I'm commenting about the weight. You feel that weight? Yeah. That's me carrying some of the weight of the charity. You feel that 3D texture against your fingers, right? It's a very tactile experience. It feels good to hold a challenge coin in your hand. It's like worry stone. And I've been a magician for the majority of my life also. So like, I just like palming coins and holding coins in my hand, but very tactile experience. So set the bar low and ask people to find one. Who can't find one, right? If you can't find one, you're not putting effort in. Seriously, the bottom truth, hard truth. If you can't find one, you're not trying, right?
Yep.
So set the bar low, but the beauty of it is, who's going to stop at one? You get like their endorphins are released, or whatever. The feel good stuff in your body is released. You know, when somebody says, "Oh, that's pretty cool," yeah, I'll make a donation, and they do it right in front of you. You know, no more. The problem with the first scenario is, you know, it doesn't matter how much I want somebody to support something that I believe in. If I just tell them about it and rely on them to follow through, that's the weak link. And it's not that everybody wants to be jerks and that everybody doesn't want to, but like life happens and we forget things, you know, stuff comes up. There's reasons they can't. And I just thought of it. Like I'll play a song before I end here too. I wrote a song about it to try to explain the story of the challenge coins, right? Again, it's all trying to educate people about how they can use custom coins to enhance their fundraising. So say Children's Miracle Network today has 100 people on their payroll that they pay to do fundraising for them, right? Well, if they implement smart coins into their fundraiser and start selling smart coins to people, if they sell 10,000 coins at $100 each, that's $1 million that they raise for every 10,000 coins sold. Plus, you can even get away where a coin's unique. It only has two sides. Sell one side to a corporate sponsor, let them put their logo on one side in exchange for paying to mint the coins.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't cost charity anything, and 100% of the money goes directly to the charity. But, so say they sell 10,000 coins. They instantly have 10,100 people out actively fundraising for the charity. Yeah. So set the bar low, ask them to find one. They're going to find one. They're going to keep carrying it because they don't stop caring for the charity after they find that one. That's you know? True. So in September, I wrote a book called The Coin That Changed Charity. And it literally is the playbook of how to use smart coins to maximize your fundraising efforts. And it tells you step by step how to market it to your donors. The first people that I would go after for any charity would be your low-hanging fruit. The people that have made donations every year for the last 5 years. Offer a special coin to them first for their loyalty and their support. And when they make that next donation, Now you're not only getting that donation, but you're giving them a tool that they can carry in their pocket every day and continue to put it in people's hands. So it's a fundraising effort that has the potential to grow like a multi-level marketing, right?
Yeah.
Without any schemes or pyramids, because you're not money's not flowing up through different people. It all goes to the charity.
Yep.
But it's happening on a grassroots level, one person at a time, as they put that coin in people's hands, which comes full circle to kind of where we started with. Challenge coins are unique. It's something that you need to put in people's hands. They need to feel that. They need to see it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
To just give a concept of, we want you to make a donation to get this, and oh, by the way, you have to carry it every day. Like, if there's no context behind it, like, okay, that's cute, but I'm just going to sit it in the shelf. But if they understand that, you know, carrying this in my pocket, I'm part of something bigger than myself. I'm one person in a bigger effort, and I know that my one small contribution, say over the next year, I find 8 people, which isn't a lot of people. 8 people in a year.
Yep.
That when I get them to tap the phone and the donation page pops up, they go, "Oh yeah, I'll make a donation." That's 8 extra donations that the charity received, all from the first donation that happened a year ago.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Now you're gonna have attrition. You're gonna have people that stop carrying it, right? You can be a naysayer and say, "Oh, not everybody's gonna carry it." Well, okay. First of all, that's not the people that we're going after. Like, if you don't want to carry it, that's cool. Don't buy it.
Yep.
The people that are buying it are already kind of saying, I want to carry, right? They want to support. That's who we want. And even out of those people, if 60% don't do it, that's okay. And it's okay if people say no to you. You know, you could ask 10 people. If 9 people say no to you and one person says yes, the yes is all you care about, because that's one more connection you've helped the charity make.
It's true.
Now that person's going to have a coin. Now they're going to be out looking for somebody, and you're still looking for another person, you know? So it can grow. Alex, thank you so much for joining me on my first official episode. I did the one little episode kind of just explaining the smart coins and talking about what we were going to talk about. I did some promos for it, but this is the first actual episode 2. And I'm going to edit this down, and 3:40. I probably won't have time to get it done tonight, but maybe later on tonight I'll have it done, and it'll be available on YouTube, and I will shoot you a link as soon as it's done.
Awesome. Thank you, Keith.
Alex, thank you for your story. I loved both of them. And thank you for your service. I appreciate the history that you shared, and what it felt like to get that coin, and then to actually take us into the demilitarized zone there and talk about how that went down. That was a great story. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Keith. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. If you have a great challenge coin and a great story behind it and would like to be a guest on my podcast, What's in Your Pocket, the podcast about challenge coins, drop a comment and we'll talk to you soon.
Grey Water Ops.